Hello guys, it's me, Sir YABZ TV. So this time our topic is geometric sequence. A sequence of terms is called a geometric sequence if there is a common ratio between any two pairs of the consecutive term in the sequence. Okay, this is the formula. So a sub n equals a sub 1 times r raised to n minus 1. Okay, so we're a sub n equals the nth term, a sub 1 is the first term, r is the common ratio, and n is the number of terms. Okay, so let's take example number 1. So with the use of that formula. So example number 1, we have the sequence or geometric sequence 3, 12, 48, then unknown yung 4th term at saka 5th term. Okay, first lagyan natin ng term, 1st, 2nd to 5th. Okay, para di tayo malito. So, hahanapin natin yung common ratio niya. So, 48, with the use of 48 divide 12 equals 4. And 12 divide 3 is 4. So, that the common ratio is equal to 4. So, our R is 4. So, we will use that in our formula. Okay? So, solving for the 4th term. So, using the formula, A sub n equals A sub 1 R raised to n minus 1. So, the formula requires, we have n. Kailangan malocate natin ano yung n. N is the 4th. Yung hahanapin natin is the 4th term. So, n is 4. Then, our r is 4 or the ratio. Then, a sub 1 because we have first term. So, our first term is 3. Okay? So, good to go tayo. So, substitute that requirements to the formula. So, a sub 4 equals a sub 1 is 3 times r is 4 raised to n 4 minus 1. Okay? Then simplify, a sub 4 equals 3. Then 4 raised to 4 minus 1, that is 3. So 4 raised to 3 is equal to 4 times 4 times 4. And the result of that is 64. So a sub 4 equals 3 times 64. Okay, multiply lang natin yung 3 times 64. So a sub 4 equals 192. So that is our 4th term na sagot. Okay? So, our 4th term is 192. So, lagay lang natin as our final answer. Okay, then the second solution, we have the 5th term. So, we have to find the 5th term. Okay, so again, using the formula. So, the formula this time requires n. So, our n, now since 5th term, so 5 yung ating n. Then r, 4 or ratio. Then we have a sub 1 or our first term. So, 3. Then, substitute natin yan sa ating formula. So, we have a sub 5, our n, equals a sub 1 is our first term, 3, times our common ratio is 4. Then, our n is 5, minus 1. Okay? Then, simplify, a sub 5 equals 3 times the ratio 4 raised to 5 minus 1 is 4. So, 4 raised to 4 is equivalent to 4 times 4 times 4 times 4. So, the result of that is 256. So, a sub 5 equals 3 times 256. So, multiply natin yung 3 times 256. The result is 768. So, that is our 5th term for number 1. Okay? So, check. So, they shared common ratio. Okay, let's try example number 2. So, example number 2, magkaiba ito sa number 1. Sa number 2, unknown yung first term, second term. Yung given lang is 3rd, 4th, and 5th term. So, ito yung example na unknown yung first term. Okay? So, with the help of 128 and 64 and 32, so, hahanapin natin yung common ratio. So, 128 divide 64 equals 2. Then, 64 divide 32 equals 2. So, the common ratio is 2. So, yun yung gagamitin natin na value ng R. So, first, in this example, kailangan natin unahin pag-solve si first term para hindi tayo mamali sa second term. Okay? So, formula, a sub n equals a sub 1 R raised to n minus 1. So, this time, kailangan malocate natin yung mga requirement ng ating formula. So, with the use of 32, so, siya yung gagamitin natin na our a sub n. So, a sub n is 32 kasi siya yung mas maliit na number. Then our n, now since this 32 is 3rd term, so our n is 3. Then our ratio is 2. So substitute natin sa a sub n Okay? So, that is 32 equals A sub 1. Wala pa tayong value. That is first term. Yun yung hahanapin natin. Then, R is 2. Then, N equals 3 minus 1. So, 32 bring down A sub N. Copy lang. Then, simplify natin si 2 raised to 3 raised to 1. So, 3 minus 1 equals 2. So, we have bring down 32 equals A over 1. Then, 2 squared. That is equivalent of 4. Then, divide both sides by 4 so that we can come up with the value of A sub 1. So, 32 divide 4 is 8. So, that is our A sub 1 or our first term. So, our first term, we have 8. Okay, now, since we have first term, madali na lang nating sundan or isolve yung number or second term. So, ito yung solution ng second term. So, A sub N equals A sub 1, R raised to N minus 1. So, this time, we have to use our first term. So, A or our N, yung hahanapin natin is second term. So, our N is 2. Then, our, we have R is, or the common ratio is 2. And then, our first term, this time, gagamitin na natin siya. Okay, para di tayo mamali sa second term. So, 8 yung first term. So, solving for the value of A sub N. So, A sub N equals A sub 2. Then, equals, our first term is 8. Common ratio is R, or 2. Then, raised to the power of N is 2 minus 1. So, A sub 2 equals, bring down si 8. Then, R is 2. Then, 2 minus 1 is 1. Now, since 1 na siya, pwede na nating i-multiply sa 8. So, A sub 2 equals 16. So, our second term of our geometric sequence in number 2 is 16. Okay? So, they share the same or common ratio R is 2. Okay? I hope you have learned something from this video. Thank you and God bless. Please follow for more.